We are a small school, a small family, and we look after each other. That's why we're called the brotherhood.
I do see the students at Salle as my cousins, as my nephews, my brothers, we are a family.
Yeah, we don't even call each other friends. We're a family at LaSalle.
We say all the time, we ask the students about their experience and they constantly talk about that they're all brothers, that they came to LaSalle and got 350 brothers.
You walk in your first day of school freshman year and you're nervous, but you come across these great people, your classmates, other students, the faculty, and they look after you.
I'm gonna know those guys for the rest of my life probably.
I go to school in the morning feeling happy and refreshed, knowing that I get to have another day to make more memories.
And I think that's the biggest component about LaSalle is that we preach that every day. We are LaSalle.
We are LaSalle is defined by the spirit of brotherhood. It's defined by picking each other off the ground.
It's being able to be comfortable with the person that you're next to.
Their brothers will be with you to help you out and whenever you need it, to guide you on the right path.
It helped me realize where I belong in the world, and it helped me realize everything that I'm capable of doing.
I think it takes people who have potential but haven't realized it yet, and then it helps them get to their potential.
The teachers in LaSalle, the faculty, everybody builds you up to be whatever you want.
Well, LaSalle is not exactly a typical place. It's an institution that allows you to grow, as not only as a student, but as a person.
Before I came here, I wasn't that good for my grades. But then as I came here, now I'm an honors student, and I'm in honors classes and AP classes.
It's not really oh, I want to be a basketball player. Well, now you have to do this, this, and that. It's here, you can be a basketball player if you put the work in.
When we take them in as ninth graders, by the time they graduate in St. Patrick's Cathedral, they're already ready for the world, and they turn them from young men into men for society.
Anything that we can do to expose them to these other opportunities that are going to make them more prepared for life beyond high school is something we're shooting for.
We're offering our students an opportunity to be exposed to something that they normally have not been able to achieve or participate in. So at the moment, we are partnering with Cooper Union.
They get to invent things and make things, and they are exposed to things they never would have been exposed to before. Not only the content and subject area itself, but the experience of it. These are people from other parts of the country. What is their life like? What is that connection like? Forging those connections with other students, forging those connections with those professors, with those graduate students. You could see the difference in them when they came back. Their world perspective shifts when you have experiences like that.
And we try to teach our young men the different ways that they can serve. How can they serve their community? How can they serve as a Christian? How can they serve as a LaSallian?
LaSalle Works allows us to get really inside experience on work and what we're good at. We can express our talents and even enhance our talents. And it's a really good experience to have because it sets us up for life, for real world.
Campus ministry is essential to any LaSallian school. Campus ministry is where students first see God in our building.
I've never been that religious, but ever since I've come to LaSalle, I've been more religious. I'm involved with my church now. I didn't even go to church before. It impacted me.
It shapes their morals. It gives them a relationship with God, and that it is going to grant them the strength to be able to make it through life's trials.
Catholic education it helps you think about things that are greater than yourself. Personally, I can say that my family wouldn't be able to send me to the school if it wasn't for the large donation that I received from LaSalle and the scholarship fund that we build for all of our students.
Giving a student the opportunity to become successful is amazing, especially if you're aiding them to that direction.
I think that the kindness that is shown to LaSalle by donors is invaluable.
And those young men know this is changing their life. This is absolutely changing who they would be as a person if they did not enter the doors of LaSalle Academy.
Donors and benefactors allow us to have an affordable option for families that normally would not be able to look for private education elsewhere.
And I know that without those forms of financial aid, I would not be in a school like LaSalle. I would not be in a Catholic school, period.
It goes with St. John Baptist's teaching, where he sacrificed all of his money to teach the poor. It's really helped us, and it's given us a good education that we couldn't receive anywhere else.
I'm not just in any other school that in the city of New York. I'm in one of the greatest schools in the city of New York.
I do have Mr. and Mrs. Doyle that paid for a large portion of my tuition.
I have a student sponsorship from Mr. and Mrs. Schwartzman.
My sponsor is David Edlin.
And I'm very grateful for them.
So I'm very grateful for those opportunities.
Like, thank you, because if it wasn't for you guys, many people wouldn't be attending this school. People wouldn't have the opportunities that they had to grow.
Thank you. If you didn't show up, I wouldn't be here, and I will definitely pay you back with success in the future.